Yeah, just hold on here. So first, hello everybody. My name is Ash.
I'm Rachel.
And we are Clever Crow Games. We're a husband and wife team that has created a small indie studio to work on this Metroidvania project called A Dragon Named Cole, which is a small indie demo that we're doing. Of our currently available public pre-alpha. You can download it on our website, which we'll put in the link in the description. But I am the developer on the project. I'm also the writer, although Rachel and a couple of other people have also done a lot of writing on the game too, but I'm the lead. Long story short.
I defer to your creative decisions and witty banter wordplay. I do the pixel art and art direction. There are some other artists working on the game as well. Very talented, wonderful people, both in concept art, animation, and other work. But I take a lot of joy in looping it all together.
So yeah, without further ado, let's play the game. So
I get to play things.
So
have I played this version of the demo?
Yeah, it's the same version.
Oh, okay.
We've had it up for a little bit, but it's the current stable build that we have, and we spent about about 6-8 months. I can keep moving through.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah, we spent around 6-8 months working on putting a HTML5 prototype that we ended up actually abandoning. We really didn't like it. It had a ton of issues with it. And then we got rid of the HTML5 prototype and we made this Unity version. And we're pretty happy with what we ended up with. Although a lot of code and other things that are currently in the process of being reworked for what we're calling pre-alpha 2.0, which is aimed at essentially stabilizing our code base and making it more reusable, because the scope of this game is pretty large and ambitious. So.
And you get to splash and stuff. Splashing is fun.
So yeah, a little bit about the main character, Cole. He's actually a handicapped dragon. I can keep advancing.
Are subtitles on?
Oh no, they're not.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, because there is narration. Audio, subtitles, there we go.
I should have checked that.
Yeah.
I will take blame on that one. No, my blame. Mine.
So, but, yeah, there's, I lost my notes. Yeah, so Cole is a handicapped dragon who is a character, who, you know a little bit about the story. If you want to go into that a bit more in the lore, actually, you can read the inventory, which actually, if you could pull up, Rachel.
Yeah.
So in the inventory, there's a bunch of additional details and information about the characters. We drew a lot of inspiration from Dark Souls, particularly, and, some other games that are similar to genre, Dragon Age. But I think Dark Souls was the biggest inspiration for how we put together our inventory items. There's also a quest tracking system, which Rachel has here. There's also the equipment, which we're still currently working on. This was a really rough prototype. We spent a lot of time putting together the quest menu and the inventory when it came to the equipment. Although all the data is there for the equipment, we didn't really have enough time to put all the different components in order to make it super interactable for this, so you won't find a whole lot of equipment pieces in the demo yet. Pre-alpha 2.0 will have a lot more.
It's coming. It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. The map, though, which we have here, we put a bit of time into, we feel turned out really, really well. It indicates where you can move to, where you haven't been. Pretty nice system for navigating the map and figuring out where to go next. So it also has a quick travel system, if you go back actually real quick. Yeah, so there's a quick travel system, as you can see on the side.
Yeah.
Pointing at the screen doesn't really help. You can see where it's at. Actually, I can point here with the mouse.
It's listed in the legend, and then you can see it reflected in the map itself. The one that we're on right now has pretty much everything. The players on it. There's a quick travel point on it, and there's loot.
Yeah, there is a loot. We built in a system that goes through and catalogs where all the loot is and checks if it's collected. So when you look at the screen, it'll tell you if you've plundered it or not. Kind of nice for helping you go through and rapidly collect everything. Which games like Super Metroid do, and which I absolutely love. To tell you if you've acquired what you need to in that area or not. Helps with completionist type approach. And then one thing we've had a lot of people ask about is our skill system, and currently the skill tree is actually done in here. But to be completely honest, we weren't completely happy with how it worked.
Yeah.
So we decided that it was a good idea to essentially take what we have for the skills and package them up and not actually put them out per se. But there are, how many categories? I'm trying to think if I can spot them all right offhand here. There is a alchemy, there is alchemy, commentary, weapons, abilities, scavenging, and defense. That is all of the available categories that we have. So, but yeah, let's close out of here and let's keep advancing with the story.
Okay.
Cole had read about doorknobs,
Yeah.
but never seen one. Sadly, Cole was just pushing it the wrong way, as the local near us.
Hey, nabbit.
So be careful when you talk because it cuts the audio off.
Oh no.
Yeah, so if you make little comments, it'll make the audio skip. It's got an auto detector.
I'm sorry. I did
Just
not
keep
mean to
moving.
cut off the beautiful, beautiful narration. Go, bird, go. It's my spot.
Yeah, we wanted to make a lot of the environments really interactive. So Cole is a very much exploratory character, and you can go around, you can interact with different things, make different things move. Also, those you can see the fireballs. There is a dynamic lighting system that we have in the game. This is the old version. We actually moved from Unity 4 to Unity 5, which is the game engine that we're on. And when we changed it, it gave us access to a much better lighting system. Everything looks a lot tighter. Also, too, we made it now so like the lights are very like still, like they don't move. But we also revised that now, so actually the lights dynamically change a bit on and off. Oh yeah, keep pushing through the story here.
I just wanted to show that we can
Oh yeah, no, I know.
cut off, turn off the lights as well as turn them on.
So.
And you can terrorize mice. That's important.
Oh yeah, Rachel, we keep pushing through the story.
Yep.
So. Oh yeah, and Greg Nicolette, who did the music.
Very creepy music box.
Yeah, the music box and all the music we hear. He's super talented, and Lewis Goose to help with the sound integration on things. So yeah, but Rachel didn't spend too much time solving it. There's a puzzle here when you go in to let yourself in up at the top. And there's actually two ways you can solve that. Uh-oh. Yeah, you got the door bug. Yeah. Right now we don't have a system in place that determines when you click to take priority over one item or another. So that's something that's coming in Pre-Alpha 2.0 also. Another thing we need to adjust. Oh yeah, you can get the chest over here.
I want the thing. I'm a completionist. I fall into that category sometimes.
So yeah, you could use the boulder to get up there, or you could use where the ladder dropped down.
Yeah.
We noticed when we were getting feedback from people and seeing Let's Plays, like some people would get to this point. Oh, you can jump through.
Alright,
And they would just completely fall through, like, I don't know what to do, so we added a secondary means with the rope at the top. It was originally you had to get the boulder.
and it's fun because, like, out of like, maybe 10 people I see play, I'll see one person solve it with the boulder, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's just right.
Yeah, actually it was an interesting choice here for us with this cutscene. One thing I found was that cutscenes with characters moving are really difficult to maintain. I made a really big mistake of doing this gigantic, intricate cutscene. Although it's like super awesome, don't get me wrong. Definitely something that we find that we want to reserve for very, very special scenes, and we don't just kind of want to throw out there on and off.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made on my half.
I will help
But
you.
you learned our lesson.
Dragon to the rescue. Yeah. Hair pulling is mean. Name calling is also mean.
Yeah, we wanted Cole to really, as you play through the game, although you are a handicapped dragon that really isn't a quote-unquote dragon, we really wanted you to feel like, to people you are a monster, to other dragons you're technically a failure. Oh, where are you going?
Being sad, being a
Oh.
failure. this first interaction where you meet Frey changed a lot from the original that we had.
Yeah, the original was interesting. There's some copies lying around out there of the original pre-alpha we put out. And yeah, and the dialogue and the characters has changed a lot, even from, I guess you could say, this right here.
Yeah.
We've been progressing and working with some other writers and other people to try to create more interesting personalities, I guess you could say. Particular thing we've been doing is keeping like a writing journal, which we found to be really, really useful for figuring out like what the characters would say in different situations and developing them further. It's a common thing that writers use. Careful, you're gonna die.
I mean, no, man. No.
Oh no, the light bug.
No, she's just glowing. She has an ethereal light.
Ethereal light, I'll go with
about
that.
her. Yeah, that's totally it.
Yeah, as you can see, Cole's companion, Frey, who's the primary mage in the game, she actually will assist you in attacks. Right now, she's limited to two things.
I want to be glowing.
She's limited to healing and her magic missile attack. But as you progress the character, we're planning on giving, because Cole has his own skill tree, and we've been working on that system, and we wrote it in a way that Cole has a skill. Hold up here for a minute, if you could.
Sorry.
Cole has a skill tree, and so does Frey, and you'll be able to do things like add more magic missiles, increase the healing. You'll also be able to like add perhaps like more heals more frequently, reduce the cooldown. So yeah, it was something that we've been talking about. There's only 3 companions, so we think that for a small indie studio, we'll be able to, you know, work that into the characters and be able to do that well. We originally had planned to do 7 companions,
Yeah.
I think. And we talked about bringing some of them in as DLC, but we've talked about as a studio, just bandwidth of what we can accomplish. We can't do all 7 of them, so we decided to do the 3 personas, Thief, Warrior, and Mage. So, and those characters too will you'll be able to subclass them, which will be the equivalent of the time skip in the game, which happens, I think, timeline-wise, we're talking about probably about 4 or 5 hours into the game. I think. Don't quote me on that, but the game's actually done.
It can vary based on playthroughs and
Yeah, it can vary quite a bit.
whatever happens with development.
Yeah, whatever happens with development. It's always a scary thing for me to think about.
Big sinkhole of possibilities.
This is the biggest sinkhole of possibilities. But, yeah. So yeah, there is a branching dialogue system here. I'll let Rachel choose.
I can choose?
Yeah, you
I
can
get to choose things? Do my choices have consequences? No, I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
What do you think?
No. Not sure.
So yeah, Rachel's choosing the route to go. A bit insecure.
Well,
Insecure Cole, so.
yeah.
But be
Pretty
careful
much.
that you're talking loud enough for the microphone there.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I'll save people.
So yeah, you can choose, our goal here with this conversation, and actually the narration, keep moving, the narration changes is, like, you have a trust Frey narration versus a don't trust Frey narration, and both of those are actually different. We wanted to put more choices into the demo, and while there are a few others that are kind of hidden throughout, oh yeah, you can go back and talk to Frey, forgot about that. A lot of them you aren't super prevalent except for that one. In the revised pre-alpha demo, we have some plans to include some much heavier decisions that would involve literally characters living or dying, which we felt was more of an impact than trusting a companion up front or not trusting. So, yeah, let's move on to the next area.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can explore those on your own in the demo. We come over at the playadnc.com website, where you can get a build for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Sadly, however, you cannot climb the tree. I feel like that was an oversight on my part.
Really? I think this is there for
Whenever I see a clipped
Vanity
tree, I
purposes.
feel like we should be able to climb it in real life, in games.
Whatever. Oh yeah, so Frey will actually comment on the areas that you're in. And she's telling Cole here that he should go up top instead of trying to go into the garrison. So the garrison area we actually have done, but we pulled it from the demo, partially because some components of it aren't 100% complete, and also the fact too that we wanted to streamline the flow for people to play through the demo, since not everything's accessible, of course.
I enjoy setting people on fire.
Yeah, there's a couple different death animations that people can trigger. I don't know if Rachel will get one, but there's also a decapitation and a gut spill.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have enough time to completely finish putting in all of the animations here, as you can probably quite obviously see, but
Yeah, when people just disappear instead of actually, dying
Yeah.
poorly in front of you. That's a missing animation, not a very fast death. So hopefully there'll be more gore, more pixel blood.
More pixel blood.
Yes. Can there ever be enough? Probably not. Oh, secret area.
Yeah, there are areas that you can go into by breaking walls and interacting with some of the various visual components. Rachel's going to avoid this character here.
I am going to avoid
Right
this
now,
character.
as this is a higher level enemy. Although there is a trick to killing them that we'll go into later up here when we see one again. Those are called grats, by the way.
The giant rats are the grats. Let's see, if I check the map.
Oh yeah, so there are hidden areas. Sometimes you need to use the map to find them. You can't necessarily tell you can go over here to the left, but
But you can.
yeah, that would show you.
Okay. So I can go here.
Oh, yeah, Rachel is also too picking up on the side here and there.
Hangman's Vines.
Yeah, Hangman's Vines, and she's picked up a Bloodthorn and some other things. So there's actually a crafting system. You can see up here in this top corner, there's a potion slot. You can't actually do anything with the potion slot right now, but in the near future you will actually be able to craft and put a potion there. We actually have it fully working. Once again, this is a thing that we didn't have really feel that we could do justice putting it in the demo. So, but there are 3 potion types. There is offense, magic, and poison.
Run, little mouse, run. You can kind of be evil and run a little adorable mouse off the cliff.
So yeah, Frey will save us. Be careful not to jump off here.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a secret if you jump off the ledge here. Spoiler. But I don't recommend doing it right now.
I won't do it right now.
Yeah,
But
just
if you
leave
try
that
and
out.
jump on that swing, most people end up finding it by accident.
Yeah.
Of course, some people never even find this scene, which is really sad because, guys, I spent a lot of time on that big yellow tree. I mean, please.
A lot of time.
A lot of time. Like, probably a fraction of my life. No, not. Well, technically a fraction of my life, sure, but not a real measurable fraction of my life. Also, that nice camera zooming in, zooming out, panning around.
Filled with silence, no birds or wind.
Do you want to go in here?
Oh yeah, I should go in there.
Let's check it out.
Hearts of men.
Like we don't already know what's here. Okay.
So, yeah, there, as you see, Rachel picked up Beginner's Guide to Seraph. Any of the items, yeah, like, a lot of the items have some pretty in-depth lore. She can scroll with her right thumbstick, yeah, through the dialogue.
Bunch of blah 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 boring stuff.
We wanted to make sure that with the inventory items that things are very, I guess you could say controller friendly when you're in the inventory. It does also work with keyboard and mouse. Oh yeah, Frey will sometimes comment if you click on certain things throughout the areas, and she'll give her 2 cents on the subject. Also, too, if you didn't notice there, Rachel was able to blow out that this lantern.
Oh yeah.
And the torches or lanterns, you can blow that one out and turn it on. Right now, you can't actually do a whole lot with the lanterns, but sorry, let me mouse. You can't do a whole lot with the lanterns, but there actually are puzzles in the game that you can use to solve things with them. But actually, go
wild teddy bears.
Go to the side over there too.
Yeah, investigate this mysterious rock pile.
Investigate mysterious rock pile.
Yeah.
So there are various secrets and things that will pop out. Yeah, actually.
Should I fight it?
Yeah, show the puzzle. So try to fight it. Actually, show what happens when you fight it.
That's scary darkness.
I think you may have killed it by accident because you jumped in.
Nope.
Oh, no,
run away! Ooh. It is very vicious and painful.
Yeah, it'll kill you with 2 hits.
Should I die?
Yeah, it's fine.
I can totally die. Oh. No! Oh!
So.
Oh, that hurt.
So actually, we integrated death as a component in the game. The characters, the character Char here is the ferryman, and essentially you can come back to her. You can also revisit her. She'll have items for you later in the game after you've died so many times. Stranger danger.
Oh, stranger danger.
But also the con is that essentially, like, although you get to keep your progress when you die in the game, you do lose a little bit of money. So.
Hi, friends in chat.
Hello. Yeah, we'll probably go back and do that in a minute here, just to teach him a lesson.
That's right. My Grat thinks he killed me. Haha, I can conquer death. I think. I can get past this super greedy person. Yeah. I was talking a little bit earlier, like mentioning the cool camera panning you had. Do you want to talk about the awesome stuff you've done on the camera?
Oh yeah, we've completely rewritten the camera system. We just weren't happy with this older camera that we were using that I wrote. It was one of the first things I wrote for the game, actually. Completely rewrote it, and now it has like a dynamic panning system and a bunch of other features that we added. So yeah, we're just going to show there's an environmental hazard here that you can use. Oh, it hasn't reset yet. We need to add a little animation there. But when he walks on it, it'll kill him. So you can physically kill the Grats by beating them to death, but at the same time, we want to encourage players for some of the harder enemies that they'll see early on to be able to be beaten with an environmental mechanic. We thought that was good because then, you know, if you're playing through the game, you know, a second time playthrough, you can kind of circumvent some of these things since you know about them.
I mean, Cole's just a little dragon who gets bullied. He wasn't, really good with much other than, I guess, maybe reading and drawing up inventions. So, probably can't take a giant rat.
Yeah, well, I mean, eventually you will once you kind of scale and level up your character.
The punchline.
Oh yeah, we call this the punchline. Speak quiet here for a minute so you guys can read it.
Yeah. I think you just kind of came up with that all.
Well, yeah, that was
spur of the moment.
It was a joke originally that we were talking about, and we wrote it in. Long story short,
a lot of people who played this, I was wondering out loud to Ash, I wonder what's going through that poor little girl's mind when she sees this giant pool of blood.
Yeah, we're like, this seems kind of absurd and ridiculous, so we kind of figured out ways to integrate that with the story. This area over here to the left, you actually can't get inside. There's actually a scavenger in there that you can talk and negotiate with, but you need Gavin, her brother who was stolen away, in order to get there into that area.
As with all of the locked thief doors.
Yeah, there are three. There are mage doors, thief doors, and warrior doors, and each class can only open one. Although I'm thinking about adding in a skill that actually allows you to open up any of the doors with any of the companions. So, something that's on our map of skills, which, so.
Obvious trap is obvious.
I'd probably just skip it for now.
We're skipping the trap.
Skip the trap.
Skipping the second trap. I walked right into it, actually.
Yeah, a couple of times when I've been demoing it, I've walked into it and killed myself and been like, crap. I just did that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
They now feast upon the weak who wander in
Nothing like forgetting about the traps that you yourself wrote into the game and then killing yourself on them.
Alright, Frey, let's do this. We'll get your brother. We'll save everyone. No! Ah. So I guess I ran into a explosion. That was very stupid of me.
Oh yeah, you're almost dead now.
I don't want to die. Again. I don't want to die again. Oh, where are we? Well, if anyone in the chat here has questions or things that you've wondered about the game, development process, Ash's favorite color, I mean, we're happy to answer.
It might be blue.
It might be blue.
But
I thought it was
maybe not.
black.
It could be.
It's a mystery.
Maybe it's both.
Oh, the arrows, they sting. Frey, heal me, what are you good for?
I think she already healed you a little while ago.
No,
Yeah, it's got like a 10-minute cooldown.
but I would have turned green. I think I'd remember turning green.
I think you got. If the thing is though, is if you die and you get.
There, I'm being healed. Thank you, Frey. I'm sorry I said that you weren't good for anything.
I guess I was wrong.
More people.
Yeah, actually we changed it so the arrows, you can actually deflect them now. You can't in this version if the arrows hit your sword, they just go straight through, but you can actually hit them and they'll go flying away. We wanted to make it so the projectiles were just a little bit more dynamic than what they were. Oh, okay, so
you can also trick them into running into the bombs that they throw, which I really love. What is the last stable version? The question in chat, what is the last stable version?
I believe this is pre-alpha 1.14 or it's 1.16, I can't remember. We're actually changed it now. Like the version numbers aren't on the start screen, and I built a new build system which essentially compiles all the data for the game, and I made it now so that like in the bottom corner of your screen it'll say like pre-alpha 1. Whatever. And pre-alpha 2.0 is the one that we're currently working on, but actually I'll go into that in a minute.
Yeah.
Actually, right now I might as well.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, it's fine. You can end
here?
it. So.
End it all.
So we got feedback from roughly like over 1,000 people from forum submissions. Yeah, no, thank you for everyone who put that out there. And here I'll increase our image size. So, why does it have the Elgato logo?
Surprise! We're using Elgato.
No one would have ever guessed otherwise.
No, we're so sneaky.
Yeah. But we went through content, like a list of some of the things for pre-alpha 2.0 that we're currently working on right now. Is we are working on a boss fight, which is actually done, and you'll be able to see real soon in the trailer. We have a completely new, like I mentioned earlier, a completely new revamped lighting system. It looks so much better. You'll be able to see it. Also in the trailer, which is technically done. Rachel's just finishing up some stuff with it. Yeah, and then one scene that looks really nice and it's taken a while, so it's worth it.
It's looking much better.
Much better. The inventory is getting a complete and total overhaul. The way that we wrote that was actually I hooked everything up to an Excel spreadsheet. It was a horrible mistake. We've been moving everything into our game engine instead, because essentially it was like anytime we wanted to edit like a tiny thing, we had to go into the Excel spreadsheet and punch in all the information manually. And that was like super hard to see. Like sometimes we have giant blocks of text, so they would get hidden. So we did away with that.
It's much easier to edit now.
Yeah, much easier for us to edit, which the goal right now with pre-alpha 2.0 is to create a stable version of the game that we can move forward with everything else. And once we're done with pre-alpha 2.0, we'll officially be in alpha. And the goal of the alpha version is then to build out all of the content beta will then be all the content available, but playable and figuring out balancing and other issues and story tweaks and stuff like that. And then our goal then with the release candidate would then be to hopefully, get it out the door into people's hands as soon as we can. Everyone gives us the okay.
Yeah.
Also, combat is being completely redone. We had a lot of people complain about people getting stuck on. The enemies, when we attack them, you would go through them. We made it now so actually the enemies have physical impact. You actually touch against them instead of just going straight through.
Mm-hmm. You also changed it so sometimes when they would get synced and they'd line up and they'd look fuzzy because there's 2 or 3 melee scavengers all taking up the same space. We've made it now so that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, they'll still push together on the occasion, but it's much more difficult.
Yeah, much more difficult.
Yeah, it's more difficult. Also, too, let's see if I'm lying. The combat also, we did a complete overhaul of all of Cole's fighting mechanics. So the combo system was completely redone. It now pulls all of the input from your controller or keyboard as you're playing, and then it actually does that ahead of time, because right now the way we're doing it is you have to hit an exact moment. We didn't like how that was lined up. We wanted to feel more like Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden, so you have what they call a real-time active polling for all of the controller details.
Mm-hmm.
Also too, like we mentioned earlier, the choices with stronger consequences. We're definitely going to show us. We have a choice system already built into the back end of the game that can detect what's going on and records key decisions. And saves that data for us so we can take a look at it later. There is one consequence of all this, though, and that is that it's going to take us a while to put this pre-alpha 2.0 demo together. So like I said, whatever we're showing you guys next, we essentially want it to be what the entire game is going to be built on. What a lot of people do with a lot of indie demos is they just kind of quickly put stuff together, I guess you say, as quick as they can. Then updating it or iterating on that can be really difficult, so you usually have to rewrite everything. And we don't want to keep going down that hole because it's time consuming to kind of release a pre-alpha demo while trying to work on the full game, because then you end up getting into creating this demo that's almost completely separate from the actual game and the actual game itself. It has to do with code bases and making everything line up. Is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, that, and I think we've been really, really lucky to have such wonderful feedback from so many people who have played our pre-alpha demo already, that it's given us so much perspective on what we can do, what we can improve, what we can make better, that I think this iteration is really going to reflect a lot of that.
Yeah, it's made a massive difference. All the feedback that everyone has given. I mean, if you've taken time to give feedback this game, thank you, thank you, thank you. If it wasn't for you, we would not have been able to get this demo to the point that we've gotten, or be able to implement all of the game mechanics and things that we have. So thank you very much. If you've given any feedback, or if you just played the demo, that's actually given us a bunch of statistics and data that we've been tracking through the actual demo via analytics.
Yeah, we've gathered a lot more data than we ever thought that we would. Even just coming and watching this stream of ours, thank you so much. Yeah. Appreciate it.
As you can see on the screen, there's a thing about our Kickstarter demo currently in the works.
Yeah.
This is just a tiny overview of the game. Our plan right now for the Kickstarter is there'll be a trailer very, very soon that you'll be able to watch. And as soon as our trailer is done, we're going to start then gearing up to get all our stuff together for our Kickstarter campaign, which will be really exciting.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, not that the trailer won't be exciting, but the Kickstarter is probably more exciting.
Yeah. And by the way, too, a lot of people ask about funding and what we do for money with the game and whatnot. We're completely self-funded. So literally everything that we've done for the game, we pay all of our contractors. We have a policy with working on the game that you can't work on the game unless you're paid.
Yeah, it's just fair.
Yeah, because Rachel and I are both artists, and we've been screwed a lot by people because we've done contracting a lot of our lives, and we just want to be as fair as we can to all the people that invest their time and efforts into making this game an awesome project.
Also, they're super talented folks. I mean,
Yeah, no,
they should get paid.
definitely. We've been really blessed and really lucky just to have the incredibly talented team associated with this project that we have. So, but yeah, if you have a minute, I really recommend checking out. Please subscribe to our newsletter. And thanks for watching the video.
Yeah.
So,
I
guess that's a wrap.
that does wrap it up.
So, awesome. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.
Bye.